Winston just said to me, Felix, did you see what's just happened to SoFi stock? And I said, yes. He said, do you think people know? And I said, no, I don't think it do. And then he said, well, do you think there's an opportunity to make money out of this? And I said, yes. Shall we share it with people? I think that's a yes. That's what this video is all about. I'm going to walk you through that. I'm also going to throw in, I think, 2 really interesting bonus bits of information here that'll make you the best informed SoFi investor out there. And Winston agrees. Are you excited? Are you excited? Can you see the nose? There's a nose here. Where's the nose? All right, let's get going. Stock chart here. What does this stock chart show? Lots of stuff. But one thing I want you to look at is this. Short volume ratio, 26%. What does that mean? It means that 26% of all the shares traded on the last trading day were short. They were shorted. That's an insanely high number, right? That doesn't usually happen, that more than 1 in 4 shares are shorted. So there is a real short attack going on here. How can you find this indicator? Let me show you. You go into TradingView and you type in stamp. Oh, I just lost my pen. Oh no, here it is. You type in stamp, short volume stamper. There it is, short volume stamper, and that's it. And then what you're going to do is click on the little settings symbol here, and you're going to change the data source from Quandl to TradingView, because Quandl data is usually unavailable for most stocks. And then you see that. And what does that actually mean in the real world? Well, you can see that we've had 2 scenarios here. One is that green box here, and there we were at 19% short volume, and we squeezed up massively, right? We went up like a rocket on earnings, 20%. Here is another one, the red one, and there the opposite happened. The shorts basically won, and that's when we were at 28% of total volume. They made the stock collapse. That was also the nonsense news around the convertible bond offering that they put out. So the shorts really made some nice money with that. What am I doing with it? Well, first of all, it's not financial advice. This is always a high risk play, but I want to show it to you. I want to be transparent. So we've got 2 trades open on SoFi here. And so far, you can see on this right now up $5,400 here on a really small portfolio. And if you want to learn how we do that, well, come and join me on Tuesday live, felixfriends.org/webinar, and I'll walk you through how we did. What did we do last year? 105% return on capital employed, 109 or something the year before. We're up 17% realized. With this, we'd be up about 35% realized, something like that. And I've got 2 SoFi trades open, and they're basically bullish. I've got one open timed for earnings. So that expires in 46 days. And it's a really nice risk reward play because I'm risking less than $600 and I could make 400. So the payoff is pretty significant, right? And that's why I'm doing it. And the trade's already making money, only $60. But that means I can make this now a risk-free trade. I can just set an exit at 0. And then I couldn't possibly lose any money on this. The second thing I've got open is a long call, like a 2 years out, as far out in the future as I can possibly go. Not usually a huge fan of the strategy, but I like it for things where I think the sector and the stock is unfairly beaten up. Everybody hates fintech, banking crisis. We're in the middle of another one and all of that stuff. And the beauty with this is that, again, you can set a stop loss, so you don't have to risk all the money, but I've got about $3,000 on this here, $3,200. But say we went to $15 at some point in the future, well, I'd make somewhere like $5,000 to $6,000 profit on that. Pretty good, right? And if we went higher, if Anthony Noto pulls it out at the bag and he actually wants to get his bonuses, then we'd be looking at like 10K profit. There's always risk reward. So there's obviously risk with this. If you think SoFi is going to go to 0, then different story. But I quite like the setup, obviously. To say, not financial advice. But that's the first thing, is understanding how you can benefit from these. Yes, you could just buy the stock and wait and be patient. That could work. I wouldn't do a really short-term trade, like a week or 2 or 3, because you never know when these things happen. I think earnings will once again be a beat. Why? Because SoFi sandbags. They always do it, and the market doesn't seem to realize it. Noto puts expectations really, really freaking low, and then he beats them. And the market pretty much always goes, oh, wow, and profits will be there on a more significant scale than last time. So my money is on the market liking it. They came in at 1 cent profit last time. All they got to do is bring in a little bit more than that, and party's going to keep going. Also, we're getting more and more institutional money pouring into this. So we lost a lot when the whole top of the market thing happened, and everybody moved away from fintech because it's risky and interest rates are going up and banks are crazy and that kind of thing. And now we're starting to see that recovery here, which is great, right? So again, I think that'll be supportive for the stock. One more thing. They just launched, actually 2 more things. So if I just launched 529 contributions, if you're not familiar with that, it basically allows you to save tax-free for your college education, not yours, your children's. And often your employer will have some sort of matching towards that. And they acquired a company in 2019 called Leaf College Savings. And that kind of allowed them to integrate this with payroll and taxing, and it's a complicated setup, as you can imagine. So people can move their existing 529s into it. They can also start new ones, and yeah, it's a real proper 529 selection tool. So I think that's very, very cool, because in a way it goes full circle, right? So SoFi's customers were all students, the ones with pretty good incomes. Now, as they start to have babies, they're going to want to do the 529s, and then they actually put money into that. So if it makes money out of that again, then they'll take out a student loan later down the road and they make money out of it. So it becomes a real flywheel circle. So I love that they're putting this out as a product. Noto also saying this here. They are supporting this idea, Invest America CEO Council thing, where basically every child born is seeded with $1,000 invested in the S&P, like a piggyback, right? But one that actually compounds. And they're saying, that's going to just change. Everybody will be a millionaire. Very simple. If you're not a millionaire, it's going to put some pressure on you, sorry to say. But I think it's also great. And again, get parents to set that up on SoFi, put that $1,000 in, wherever it might come from, into some sort of index fund, and then just hold the frickin' thing for 20, 30 years. And everyone's going to be a millionaire, basically. So yeah, I love that. I think that's also a nice one. So I like how they're bringing things together. There's also a rumor they're launching a business offering. So lots of stuff happening. I will keep you in touch with that as it happens, when it happens. But you got to do the same thing, not just for your children, but for yourself. You got to increase your money. If you look at retirement numbers, I talked about that on the weekend. People are retiring with a couple of $100,000. Man, it's not enough. Sorry to say. You can only spend 4% of that a year. So if you want to spend $40K a year, you need $1 million, right? Without tax being even an issue there. So you just need to, and the only way people get there is by having more income. So the second income stream is so freaking important. And you can learn what I do and how I do it. I'm not saying that's the only way to do it or necessarily the way for you to do it. But by coming and joining my live trading training, you will, at the end of that 90 minutes, know yay or nay, this is something I may or may not want to do. And if you don't want to do it, it'll move that aside, and you can now look for another opportunity to help you grow some extra income. So come and join me, felixfrancelog.com/webinar. It'll be fun. You'll get my whole walkthrough, the whole system, all of it delivered to you. And if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you shared it. I thank you for watching. The CEO of SoFi, Anthony Noto, just casually announced a whole new business launch.